Tout d'abord, permettez-moi d'exprimer ma plus profonde reconnaissance à la France et au Sénégal, qui, en leur qualité de co-facilitateurs sur la coopération, nous font l'honneur d'organiser cette rencontre. Il y a 2 ans exactement, en octobre 2015, la Cour avait organisé, avec le soutien de Liechtenstein, un important atelier concernant les défis posés à la Cour par la coopération en matière d'enquête financière. Depuis lors, nous avons continué nos consultations avec des experts et des praticiens en vue de renforcer ce domaine d'activité et intensifier nos contacts avec les autorités nationales compétentes. Forte du constat que beaucoup reste à faire en termes de réponse aux défis procéduraux dans ce domaine comme en termes de volonté politique, je me réjouis de voir que nous sommes si nombreux aujourd'hui, réunis par la volonté de continuer à investir dans cet important domaine, investissement dont il me semble qu'il ne peut être que profitable à la Cour et à la cause de la justice. En effet, non seulement le sujet que nous rassemble aujourd'hui revêt une pertinence symbolique ou conceptuelle, mais surtout, il touche à des aspects essentiels, tangibles de la justice internationale pénale et de sa valeur ajoutée dans un monde en mutation. Nous sommes ici pour échanger au sujet de la coopération en matière financière, c'est-à-dire sur l'identification, la localisation, le gel ou la saisie du produit des crimes des biens, des avoirs et des instruments qui sont liés aux crimes. Au-delà même des aspects techniques, l'importance que revêtent ces activités judiciaires pour la Cour comme pour notre idéal commun de justice ne doit pas être sous-estimée. En premier lieu, du point de vue de mon bureau, les enquêtes financières permettent d'identifier des formations de grande valeur pour les enquêtes et poursuites devant la Cour pénale internationale. Les informations qui sont collectées lors des enquêtes financières peuvent servir comme élément de preuve ou peuvent aider à déterminer la responsabilité pénale des individus pour la commission de crimes de statut de Rome. En deuxième lieu, même si la Cour n'a pas de compétences directes pour les crimes tels que la corruption, le blanchissement d'argent, le trafic d'armes ou le commerce illicite des ressources naturelles ou des espèces sauvages, ces crimes peuvent être la source de financement grâce auquel ou en vue duquel des crimes comme le génocide, les crimes de guerre ou les crimes contre l'humanité sont commis. Enfin, comme le greffier de la Cour pénale internationale, Herman von Ebel, le redira, les enquêtes financières sont également importantes en ce qui concerne la possibilité de satisfaire et matérialiser le droit à des réparations pour les victimes en cas d'indigence. C'est pourquoi je me réjouis du projet de déclaration du pari, qui est un signe clair et sans équivoque de l'engagement des États parties et de leur effort visant à renforcer la coopération avec la CPI dans le domaine des enquêtes financières et du recouvrement des avoirs, et j'espère que ce projet recevra un large soutien. Je souhaiterais envisager la question qui nous rassemble aujourd'hui en parlant d'abord du rôle et du mandat de mon bureau en matière financière, avant de me référer aux multiples défis auxquels nous sommes confrontés dans ce domaine pour en faire partager avec vous quelques réflexions en vue de contribuer à l'amélioration de l'efficacité des enquêtes financières de la Cour pour la réussite de sa mission et la lutte contre l'impunité. Allow me to continue in English. It has been highlighted and recognized on numerous occasions, including by the Court's principals and state party representatives, that cooperation is central and critical to the successful implementation of the Rome Statute and the activities of the ICC. The identification, tracing, and freezing or seizure of assets has been identified and highlighted as a substantive priority area. Needless to say, therefore, that I am pleased to see that this issue was taken seriously and that it is the reason we are gathered here today. Indeed, financial investigations are to a large extent at the heart of the work of the Court and the Rome Statute system functioning. My office takes its part in this field as our investigations play a decisive role in obtaining financial information on suspects and persons associated with them from a very early stage in the proceedings. Indeed, we routinely conduct financial investigations and analysis to identify financial flows as part of our investigative activities in accordance with Article 54 of the Rome Statute. This is crucial to our mandate as it can contribute to demonstrating the crime base, the linkage elements of the crimes, the links between the groups of individuals, the criminal responsibility of individuals for crimes under the jurisdiction of the Court. Further, due to the large scales of crimes, and as already referred to earlier, crimes under the Rome Statute and other grave crimes are often, if not always, committed through use of money or use of assets. This means that going after the money has a twofold benefit. It may help investigate the crime itself, but it may also prevent the commission of the crime before it takes place. Additionally, financial investigations may play an important role in the investigations of crimes against the administration of justice, otherwise known as Article 70 crimes. Beyond their relevance for our core investigative activities, I should note that our financial investigations will in turn be a condition for the identification of assets that might later contribute to reparations for the victims of the crimes we investigate. Once identified in the course of our investigations, the relevant information will indeed be transferred to the Chamber and could form the basis for possible future forfeiture orders and reparations awards for victims. One of the vehicles for my office to obtain relevant financial information is through the transmission of requests for cooperation to states pursuant to Article 93, 1K of the Rome Statute, aiming at identifying, tracing, freezing, and seizure of assets. By their very nature, financial investigations are extremely complex. Criminals have indeed become increasingly better at disguising ownership and transferring funds across the globe in a matter of seconds. Bank secrecy legislation, the use of shell companies or strawmen, and any such related tools are only a few of the many tools that may be at the disposal of criminals. Most financial investigations have an international dimension, which does not render the task at hand any easier, to say the least. At the ICC, a number of added difficulties make the important work on financial investigations highly challenging. Typically, all information necessary to conduct a financial investigation is located in a foreign jurisdiction. As you well know, the Court does not have its own enforcing powers, and it is therefore fully dependent on the cooperation of states. Indeed, the activities of my office rely upon the support and cooperation of both states parties and states not party to the Rome Statute. While my office does, generally speaking, enjoy generous support of many countries, politically and operationally, including, from many here in this room today, the area of identification, location, freezing and seizing of the proceeds of crime and goods, assets and instruments linked to crime remain complex. On the one hand, locating assets of accused from regions affected by armed conflict, where lack of or rudimentary legal and financial structures may be difficult. On the other hand, the development of banking technology makes it increasingly easy for suspects to transfer, hide, and move funds as they please. Additionally, even when the asset in question is finally located, because these international financial investigations may take several years, the value of the asset could have decreased to the point that by the time it is located, it is only of scrap value. Another important challenge is that the asset sought must be linked to any activity, be it legal or illegal, of the suspect or the accused. Even when the assets have been located, linking them to the suspect and to their respective suspected activities remain a challenge. Often, the legal threshold at the national level to prove this link is very high, which makes the task of obtaining the said link an even greater challenge. Over the years, the Court has noted that many states still lack appropriate legislation and procedures in order to execute cooperation requests that are coming from the Court. This, needless to say, has a serious impact on the ability for states to respond in relation to financial investigations related to cooperation requests emanating from the Court. But that said, this is no excuse for failure to cooperate with requests for cooperation from the Court. I will return to this point very shortly. Looking at the way forward, notwithstanding the challenges inherent in the fight against impunity for atrocity crimes, and particularly those I have just referred to, I now wish to shed some light on a few non-exhaustive possible avenues contributing to advance cooperation with the ICC, particularly in the area of financial investigations and asset recovery. I would like to add that I am glad to see that many of these points are indeed reflected in the draft Paris Declaration. Such declaration, in whatever format eventually adopted, can send a clear signal that states parties are actively working to enhance cooperation with the Court in the recovery of assets, and hence demonstrating that this is a matter of serious international concern. Pursuant to Article 88 of the statute, all states parties must have in place procedures that allow them to respond to requests that the Court may send under Chapter 9 of the Rome Statute. Cooperation is a key factor of success in the ICC's endeavor to conduct financial investigations with a view to bring to justice for the victims of the most heinous crimes. What is more, without the support from its states parties as well as international and regional organizations, the ICC is not able to effectively conduct any financial investigations and hence properly fulfill its mandate. As such, states have the power and responsibility to directly affect the implementation of the Court's mandate. It is therefore essential that states parties enact adequate national implementing legislation and harmonize their national law with the Rome Statute, allowing them to timely and efficiently cooperate with the Court. It is equally important to raise awareness amongst relevant domestic authorities and officials about the mandate and requirements of the ICC in relation to financial investigations and asset recovery, encouraging them to be proactive, for example, by sharing information with the Court when and if appropriate. Expanding the increasingly wide network of focal points in asset recovery offices or financial investigations units and enhancing informal communication is also crucial in order to enable an open dialogue whereby consultations may take place before a formal request for cooperation is sent, as appropriate and within the relevant legal framework in order to maximize its potential success. Cooperation also works both ways, and indeed my office is also increasingly receiving requests for assistance from states. We endeavor to respond as much as possible favorably to such requests as the Rome Statute specifically allows the court, upon request, to cooperate with and provide assistance to a state party conducting an investigation or trial of its own. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, allow me to reiterate that strengthening financial investigations through increased and more effective cooperation is critically important in the fight against impunity and building a culture of accountability. In today's interconnected and borderless world, money moves as fast as ever. As a result, a coordinated strategy whereby expertise and information is shared within the relevant legal frameworks and as appropriate is in our greatest responsibility. I wish to emphasize that the court needs your continued political and diplomatic support for a coordinated and well-resourced strategy for investigations and prosecutions in conjunction with national authorities and national jurisdictions. Indeed, we are gathered here today to build and strengthen cooperation between the court and the state's parties in the area of financial investigations. It is my hope that the foundations that we will establish today will pave the way to a long and effective cooperation resulting in fruitful financial investigations with the victims of the atrocity crimes for which the ICC was created as the ultimate beneficiaries. Thank you for your attention.